Hi, Northaven family and friends. My name is Bob Roton, and welcome to Northaven Voices. I am honored this morning or today to be visiting with Tammy Williams, who is our financial coordinator at Northaven. She joined our staff in March of 2022, and so I'm a little bit behind in getting her introduced to the community, but so glad to be here with you, Tammy, this morning, today, and welcome. So
thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
So financial coordinator, what does that mean?
Well, what that means is the day-to-day financial obligations that go on with the church, paying bills, receiving donations and inputting donations, and then at the end of the quarters, curating the reports that are mailed to the members. That's all part of what I do. Depositing the money that comes in through electronic deposit right there on my desk. I don't have to go to the bank or anything, but just pretty much anything with the day-to-day finances. They have other members that take care of the behind-the-scenes reporting and things like that, but pretty much the face of receiving the monies and accounting for them.
You receive the money and you make sure we pay our bills on time.
There you go. That's
and
right.
You tolerate people like me who say, "Can we do this? Can I do this?"
Yes. So that's okay. I do work with a lot of members behind the scenes on things they're in charge of. I had an email this morning, someone asking about black tie, and then I do owe you a report I saw, so I'll get you that. But yeah, so a lot of that as well.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you, Tammy, and thank you for that. It's you're one of those pieces that are in the back office, right?
Yep. Behind the scenes, no one really knows. Yeah.
That's right. So we get to put your face to the role now.
To the role, yeah.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and we're so grateful for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. So tell us about Tammy. Who is Tammy? What's her background? And so tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I have kind of an interesting background. I was raised here in Dallas, and I started working at 16 for a dentist in East Dallas over by White Rock Lake. It was just a summer job. But it turned into, then I graduated high school, went down to A&M, got a degree in elementary ed with a specialty in math. So numbers have kind of always been in my background. Mm-hmm. I graduated December of 84, tell you how old I am. And I didn't want to teach, although I had an offer in Garland to teach math. Math teachers are always in demand. But I didn't want to go in the middle. My first job, I don't want to take up a class that belonged to someone else. So the dentist that I had been working for all through college said, "Come work for me. My front office girl is leaving on maternity. She'll be gone, for the spring. Then you can teach next year." And I was like, that sounds good. This is familiar. It was a Monday through Thursday job, great hours, didn't take anything home, very good pay. So I did it. And then come spring, she said, "This is my third child. I'm not coming back." And I said, "Well, this is a pretty good gig. I think I'll stay." So I stayed as his office manager until he retired, semi-retired back in like 2000. And then I worked just a couple of days for him. But then I started into the schools tutoring what's known as AVID, which is Advanced Via Independent Determination. It's a program for mostly first-generation college kids, mostly kids that come from backgrounds where their parents were not college attendees. So it's kind of it's a kind of a platform where they learn how to study, learn how to take notes. So I tutored that for many years and really enjoyed it. I tutored math. Then my kids started getting close to college age, and my first job as a financial coordinator, which I still have, was with Ridgewood Park.
Oh, okay.
United Methodist Church, and Ann Willett was the pastor.
Oh.
So that's where I got started doing that. And during that time, Ann referred me to another church, Greenland Hills, which I still do their finances as well. And then late 2021, early 22, Ann contacted me and said that Mindy was retiring. Would I think about maybe taking on Northaven? So I thought about it, prayed about it. And then when I guess Mindy set her retirement date. She called me and I said, well, let me come and talk to y'all and your team. And so I did, and really felt a calling this is something I should do. So here I am.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, I'm glad that you had that connection with Ann.
Yeah, that's exactly what brought me there, was the connection with Ann.
Yeah. So you have 2 children, did you say?
I do. I have a son who will be 32 in December, and a daughter who will be 28 in February of next year. So my daughter's married. If you'll remember, she got married last October. I was planning that all right after I started. My son is not married yet. We hope soon. He's got a girlfriend, but I'm not rushing it. It's like we've got plenty of time. But they both live here in Dallas, so we're grateful for that. Yes.
Good. And I noticed on your profile it says that you like to hang out with your boot camp friends. You're a boot camp lady, huh?
I am. I do boot camp 3 mornings a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, from 5:50 a.m. to 6:55 a.m. Wow. So early, in the high school parking lot.
So how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that. This will be I think my anniversary is actually in October, and it'll be 12 years. So a long time.
Maybe you should leave. Maybe you have to start a group at a boot camp at Northaven.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you, I feel like some days I could. I've been doing it so long, but it's good. I love it. It's a great way to socialize, plus, get some exercise in.
Good exercise,
yeah. And you don't want to miss, because you're like, what am I going to miss? You don't think about what you're missing exercise-wise. You think, what am I going to miss that they're going to talk about that I'm not going to know? So it's a great way to keep you getting out of bed every morning.
Well, it sounds like a great balance too. You have your work and you have your kids, and So what are your passions? What else do you do besides boot camp?
Well, I do. I have started playing pickleball, so I'm very I'm loving that. I guess I've been playing almost a year now. We play just recreationally here in the neighborhood, but I did join a league that starts next Wednesday night at Samuel Grant down here in East Dallas. So So my son-in-law and daughter will be playing, and my brother as well. And that I answered that question. For me, my passions are connecting with my family, with my community, and building relationships. And I gave everybody in my family pickleball paddles for Christmas, and so we kind of all play. So it satisfies my passion as well as being able to be with my family.
Oh, that's sweet. Now, where did you graduate from? You said you were in
high school. I went to Skyline.
Skyline, yeah.
Yep. Magnet school, but it was my attendance area, so I was not a magnet. I didn't go there as a magnet school. It was actually my attendance high school. Yeah.
Right. So Tammy, how would you describe your spiritual journey?
Well, my spiritual journey, I was raised in church, gave my life to Jesus as a child, 9 years old, at summer camp. Have always been walking the walk, but not always really knew what that meant. And I will say it hasn't been until maybe the last 10 years that I really realized what it meant to have a relationship with the Lord, not just showing up on church. Hey, I went to church. Hey, I go to church. Oh, hey, I read my Bible. But really having a deep heart relationship. So I feel like in the last 10 years, I've really grown. I've learned more than, a kid growing up in church, you hear all the stories and you know the stories, but do you really know the stories, So I feel like the last 10 years have really been instrumental for me. I lost both my parents, and that was kind of the journey that started me, because, that's when you seem to find God, is when you're walking through a hard time. The good times, you kind of don't think about him because you don't need it, because things are going great. So that's when I really started connecting on a heart level and really started realizing what it really means to have a relationship with the Lord.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. When we have a loss or have experiencing a pain of some sort, that's when we find a way to grow, I think.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. So
sure.
Do you have a favorite verse or story or a mantra that you live by?
Well, my favorite verse, and it's that verse that actually came to me when my mother was sick, and I tell people it was literally the Lord spoke to me. I had gotten in my car at the hospital and sat in the parking lot and just poured out my heart, or thought I was pouring out my heart. And what I heard was, "Seek me and find me. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart," which is the verse in Jeremiah 29:11. And, or it might be 13. Anyway, it's one of those. But I was like, oh my goodness. And then I really realized I'd been just telling God how I wanted the situation to end, not seeking his will for the situation. And so that verse, there is so much truth to it. If you seek him with all your heart, you will find him. And that's really what happened with me.
And then you just have the faith to move with it.
To move with it. And even though the outcome wasn't what I wanted,
right,
what I'd been praying for the whole time, I see now that's what needed to happen. I think the road would have been a lot harder had she survived. And so now I can see that, but it's just really because we tend to pray the way we want things to turn out. We want what we want, and we want it how we want it.
Yeah, we want to control it, right?
Exactly.
We don't want to feel it. We don't want to feel those things, right?
Exactly. So that's my favorite verse, and I think the story that resonates with me, kind of on a different level, is the story of David. How God took David, a shepherd, a nobody, and he used him in mighty ways. But David wasn't perfect. David messed up so badly, but he always turned his heart back to God, and God continued to bless him. And that's, to me, so comforting to know if someone like David, who messed up badly, was still able to be blessed by God. It gives me such hope, because some days you just go, I'm such a mess up, and God will never use me. God's forgotten about it, and he probably doesn't even like me anymore. But then I remember, he used David, and it's a story that I always go back to because of that reason, that he does not. You don't have to be perfect.
That's right. That's the good news. We don't have to be perfect. And the thing is, from my perspective, the Spirit of God lives with us always. Because we messed up, we push it away.
Exactly. It's us that moves, not him.
We don't deserve it, or something like
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey.
Sure.
That's wonderful.
Sure.
So let me ask you this: how has your life been different than what you thought it would be?
I read that question, and I think everybody thinks or hopes that you have, a great life, lots of money, perfect kids, a beautiful home. I don't have any of that, but I think the life I have is the life I was supposed to have, and it brought me where I am and where my heart and my mind need to be to have to be blessed the way that God's blessed me. I think I look back and I think, if we'd have had a lot of money when we were young, my husband and I think we would have been haughty and prideful and probably self-sufficient. And that's not who I want to be, and that's not where I want to be. So I think I am where I am, and because of the journey I had, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Good. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. We look at our life's journey and we think, I wish I had or whatever. So to hear this, I'm okay with what my journey.
Yeah, I am. I'm blessed beyond measure in so many ways, and I'm grateful. I'm just grateful. I've got my health. I lost a dear friend this year to cancer. I saw her struggle for 3 years. She was my age. And you don't realize what your health means until you watch someone young that should be really enjoying life, empty nester, grandkids, close to retirement, and then you watch them, and then you're like, oh man, I have no complaints,
Well, it also helps when you have that experience, because I had a similar one this year with a client of mine that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and very young, and it just makes you really want to appreciate every day.
Absolutely. It's a gift.
Just, embrace what the present and
Exactly.
the best.
Exactly.
For me, it does anyway. So
yeah.
And everything. Um, so I'm kind of lost my train of thought here. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
We'll close with what brings you joy, and how do you want to be remembered?
Well, what brings me joy is being with my family and just having the relationships, and of course, knowing Jesus. Jesus is where the joy is always. And I think the way I'd like to be remembered is that people were blessed by knowing me because of my relationship with the Lord, and how I treated them, how I lived my life, and how I impacted them in some way. I want to be a person that when someone walks away, they feel good, and they don't feel like, oh, that wasn't a pleasant conversation. Believe me, I'm still striving for that. But that to me is if you can affect people because you show them Jesus in how you treat them, how you talk to them, how you love them, that's how we're all supposed to live. We're supposed to show his love to everybody.
Yeah, I love that too. Thank you. So because it's important that when you engage with people that they know that we're present with them.
Absolutely.
And that we accept them, that they are important. They are significant. Yeah. And that's what I heard you just say. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Anything that you want to say to the Northaven family or friends that how we can best support you?
Well, everyone that I have met, I know there's so many people that I haven't, but everyone is so lovely, loving, gracious, grateful for everything I do, but like you said, I'm behind the scenes, so I don't see a lot of people, but everybody has been so supportive. I know it was hard because I know Mindy was there for a lot of years, and she was a dear friend as well as an employee of the church. So I know that was hard, but I have felt nothing but appreciation and acceptance and love from everyone. Because I'm not there, you can't just pop in and talk to me like you can, say, Ann or Ann Marino and some of the other staff members. Just, email, call. I'm available, and I try to acknowledge any kind of request or anything as quickly as I can. So please feel free. Please don't feel like you have to go through someone else to come to me. Just come straight to me.
All right. Well, I know that's my experience, Tammy. And I love working with you, and it's just you've been very helpful with the Art on the Trail and
good
Art and Literature Fair and all my requests. So thank you.
Yeah, well, good. You are a man with a lot of things going on, so we have worked together, and I do appreciate how prompt you are and how accurate you are with everything. It makes my job easier. So I just hope everyone feels that they can come to me like you do, and good. I can help them any way I can.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Absolutely. Good. Well, I appreciate it, and thank you it's an honor that you wanted to talk with me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we'll see you soon.
Yes, we will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.